The Dark Knight was perhaps the most critically acclaimed comic book movie ever made, and there was such a kind of an actual backlash from mainstream Academy members and voters when it wasn't nominated for Best Picture, that they expanded it to be a 10-picture race now. So it got us thinking, do we think, will there ever be a comic book movie that will end up winning a major award? I mean, as we go ahead, there's going to be so many of these movies made that it just seems like maybe the chances are getting there. And one thing that prompted this discussion was the Writers Guild of America announced their nominees this week. And one of the nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay was Guardians of the Galaxy, which seems to take everyone by surprise, even James Gunn.
Yeah, I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I loved it too.
I've said this on the podcast a lot of times now, but I've seen it 6 times. I will see it again. I adore it. I crazy bat.
But
love it.
Is it award worthy, and especially on
Well, I think that where I think it certainly should get some awards, love, and attention is in the visual effects department, without a doubt. Absolutely. I mean, look at Rocket and Groot.
Yeah.
Like, if those people are not getting recognized, there's a real problem, in my opinion.
Didn't Planet of the Apes didn't.
I know,
right?
I know, which is a problem.
I know.
So.
You don't want a problem with this one.
And you don't want to make a problem with me and when it comes to Guardians.
That's right.
I'm surprised. I will say this.
Don't mess with the raccoon or Roth.
I am Roth the Rocket. So
Roth-it raccoon. Is that it?
So in any event.
Yeah.
I will say of the two Marvel movies that came out this year, I would have thought that Cap would have gotten a writing nod.
Yeah. I mean, I think Captain America Winter Soldier is for me, it's a better movie in that it actually has something to say, and it had a lot more to accomplish as a narrative than Guardians did. Guardians had to just basically sell the goods on being a fun and believable movie. I'm not undercutting what the movie accomplished at all. We think it's great. In fact, keep your eyes on the Best of Movies 2014 announcements coming up soon to see how much we actually did love Guardians. But Captain America Winter Soldier really did, to me, have more of an awards-worthy kind of quality to it. And I don't think it's necessarily that you have to be dark and Nolan-esque to flog that horse again, but to be considered for awards. But I think what it does is it shows that there is people want to give awards to something that had artistic value in terms of having something to say, that you are about something, you have an identity beyond just being a fun time.
I agree, and I think that with Cap, it was actually a far more complicated narrative, right?
Yeah.
And so it actually took a little more craftsmanship in the writing phase, I think.
Yeah.
In the writing phase. I'm not saying as a whole, because I think there's a lot to Guardians, actually. But in the writing phase, it took a lot more craftsmanship, Cap did, than Guardians, I think.
Yeah.
So, although that's there too, because you have to bring these characters to life. But, and it's funny. I'm not sort of that's not easy to do. Comedy's not easy. But Cap is funny too. And so I was a little taken aback by that, a little surprised. I think this, and I'm going to beat the Nolan horse too. I think that what happened, and you mentioned this, is that this industry wasn't ready when The Dark Knight came out to award a comic book movie with even an Academy Award nomination. However, I think that it is ready now, but it's going to take a movie with that kind of...
It's going to take another Dark Knight.
It's going to take another Dark Knight. It's going to take a movie with that kind of gravitas, whether it's in that Ledger performance, that interpretation of the Joker, what have you. It's going to take a movie with that kind of gravitas to actually get it.
Yeah.
When that happens, who does it? I don't know.
Yeah. Shazam.
Wouldn't it be insane? It'll be Shazam, we predict.
That's pretty much it.
I wouldn't be shocked if something like Suicide Squad suddenly emerges as something interesting enough. I don't know if it will.
We'll see.
I don't know if it will.
I mean, I think, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the material. And I don't see on the immediate horizon necessarily any of the Marvel slate jumping up there to be like a Best Picture nominee, or a winner, I should say. They could get a nomination.
But it's not just because of that they're comic book superhero movies. It's comedy is really tough with the Academy. Comedy is very. I can think off the top of my head. It was Fish Called Wanda. Oh God, what's wrong with me?
I know there's a lot.
Best Supporting Actor.
Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline won for A Fish Called Wanda. And that's one of the rare cases that an actor actually wins for a comedy at the Oscars.
Well, folks, let us know in the comments if you think we'll ever actually see a comic book movie win an Oscar, a major award of some kind in that sort of mainstream realm.